Another
Sure.
question I have for you. A lot of people are wondering, will my organization need to be CMMC certified even if they don't handle CUI? Can you speak to that?
That's a great question. Sure. So companies are going to be required to be certified to the appropriate CMMC level based on the type of information that you handle and deal with. As of today, level 1 equals any FCI that you may be handling, and level 2 will involve any CUI that you're handling. So one of the most important points, and I'm sorry that I have to deliver this news, but anybody that is a prime can force you to be compliant whether you're handling CUI or not. So there may be primes out there that are feeling like they just want to have the same consistent requirements across the board of all their subcontractors. And if that occurs, you will be required to be compliant in order to continue to function under that contract, whether you're handling CUI or not. Now, CUI is not always marked, so it becomes a challenge. Could be a puzzle a little bit. CUI isn't always marked. So Rick and I always advise folks that when in doubt, treat everything as CUI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. And someone just asked if it's up to them to identify FCI and CUI status.
Well, I'm going to answer this. I'm going to let Rick step in and add to what I'm going to say. So I think we talked a little bit earlier in the call about really needing to know and understand the information that you have, so that you know how you have to handle it, and so that you know which of the requirements apply to you and which ones don't. So I would say, yeah, they're going to need to figure it out. Or, Rick, would you go so far as to say that if they treat everything as CUI, then they're probably going to be safe?
Yeah, and that's true. I think in theory, the DoD is supposed to identify CUI and FCI. Your prime contractors, if they're passing information down to you, should identify that as CUI and FCI. In practicality, that doesn't always happen. So a couple things that you'll want to do. Number one, you might want to contact the contracting officer and let them know that we're pretty sure this is CUI and it wasn't marked. So they're aware of the issue, or maybe contact your prime and let them know that, hey, we're pretty sure this is CUI, it wasn't marked. Try to get them to mark it appropriately. But ultimately, you want to handle it. If it's in your possession, whether it's marked correctly or not, you need to protect that information. So as Renee mentioned, if in doubt, treat it as CUI, and you will never run into problems.
And the other thing that you can go back to are whether you're falling under whether the FARS clause is listed in your contract that you're functioning under, or whether the DFARS clause is. If it's the FARS clause, then it's FCI, and if it's the DFARS clause, then it's CUI. So that's a handy way of trying to figure out whether you're subject to it.
They sure don't make it easy, do they, though?
They do not.
Thank you guys for clearing that up. I think that's a good direction about where to go, trying to figure them out, FCI and CUI, but just to be safe, you can always treat it as CUI.
Thank you for watching this video to the end. This is part of a longer series on DFARS, NIST, and CMMC compliance produced by Core Business Solutions. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video with a thumbs up, and click the bell to get notified when we drop a new video. Also, we'd appreciate it if you would share this video with your colleagues who need to stay up to speed on DFARS, NIST, and CMMC. Thank you, and we'll see you again in the next video.